Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. The Seahawks win over the Kansas City Chiefs in Lumen Field Friday night. Ooh-wee. It was electric in that building. It was going down like a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert in the mid-90s. Hey, it's your boy G. Scott. They call your boy the preacher. That's right. I'm going to bring that passion. I'm going to bring the truth. But as always, I'm going to bring it straight to you. Let's get to it. Let's talk Seahawks.
It's the Reset with G. Scott.
What's up, everybody? Hey, make sure you like and subscribe. Send to your friends and everyone. Just like that, the Seahawks brought us all back to life. You know it. I know it. Everybody know it. That feeling felt good. Now, sure, some people will say, well, it's only preseason. Preseason, regular season, no season. I needed that. I'm going to speak for myself, not for everybody else. I'm going to speak for me. There was a lot of things that I was looking forward to, and there are some things that totally popped. You saw it out there on Friday night. But more importantly, it all started with that first drive. Let's recap. It goes to show you right now that what came back onto that field was a spark. It was a message. Sam Darnold stepping in that first drive. Beautiful. 4 for 4 passing for 34 yards, a touchdown, a 10-play drive, 81 yards. Beautiful. Mike McDonald and Clint Kubiak coming together. It felt like that play, that first drive, I felt like Coach Boone and Coach Yost from Remember the Titans was there on the sideline. Oh, it felt good. By the way, real quick, timeout. You guys do agree that Remember the Titans is the best football movie of all time, right? Here's a homework and assignment. Put it in the comments. Top five football movies right now. And these are in order. Number 1, Remember the Titans. Number 2, Any Given Sunday. Number 3, Friday Night Lights. 4, Rudy. And 5, the OG classic, The Program. Okay, I just want to get that out there. Put it in the comments your thoughts on that. Now, let's get back to business. What was beautiful about that drive was it was the even thing. It was a balance of the pass game, the run game. Clint, my man Charbonnet, pounding it. Pause. The O-line putting hands on people. Everything that we have been wanting to see for so long. And as far as inside Lumen Field, it felt like we have not seen that in a long time. And for that to be a preseason game, by the way, there was 68,000 in attendance. So that part of it was great. The receivers. Yeah. The receivers, the balance, the play calling. Speaking of it, Jake Bobo, a lot of you all love Bobo. I love Bobo. Mo Bobo is what they say. Bobo was incredible in that. Looking incredible, fantastic. I'll give you guys a little something that happened on Friday night before the game. I saw Bobo out there. He was warming up, catching passes and everything. Just before he was out there early, and I go to walk past and we catch eye contact. I'm like, "What's up, Bobo?" And he's just like, "Hey, how you doing?" And he was very, very like focused, zoned in, if you will. And I was wondering, I'm like, man, does Buddy recognize me at all? But again, whatever his routine is, I don't want to mess up his routine. He was dialed in that game. Bobo is a technician, if you will, in and out of his breaks, hands like crazy, ball security, just absolute sticky hands. I think it's not even a question if he's going to make this roster. I'd say the next question is, could he be the second, third leading receiver on this team this year? And speaking of the leading receiver, even though JSN in that 10-play opening drive, JSN had a catch. JSN, and by the way, in a couple weeks here, I'm going to have a full JSN breakdown. JSN is the best in the world. JSN is going to put up crazy numbers. JSN reminds me of Eddie Kane in the 5 Heartbeats. Can't nobody sing like Eddie Kane. That's what I think he's going to do this season. I think I'm going to go ahead and say it. In the first 4 games of this season coming up, I think he is going to put everybody on notice. Now, I do think the league knows. I think you and we 12 Seahawks fans, we know. But does everybody really know, like the 12s know about JSN? Next topic I want to talk about is the defense. Now, the pressure that I saw them getting back there, putting pressure on the quarterback, the tackling, discipline, timely stops. What I loved most about the defense, and I'm going to show you in a second how I think the defense was getting fired up by the offense. The defense were fired up. And I think the defense fed off of the energy inside of Lumen Field on Friday night. I think the 12s were doing their job on 3rd down, getting loud, getting crazy, to give them that momentum, to get them that feeling of dancing a little bit out there, feeling good. But going back to Clint Kubiak, and by the way, this is going to come back to the defense, going back to Clint Kubiak and that offense, if you go and you look back at that game and you see just how important it was to get in those 2nd down and short situations, right? If you're a defense and you're on the sideline and your offense is out there, as soon as that offense, as soon as it is 2nd down and 8, or if there's a penalty where it's 2nd down and or 1st down and 15, and you know the playbook kind of shrinks in that situation. As a defense, you know, oh boy, here we go. We're about to get back out on the field. But when you had that 2nd down and short, which the Seahawks were in that situation, 2nd down and 3, 2nd down and 2, that defense gets that extra breather. That defense is like, oh man, whew, we get another break. So shout out to the play calling. And again, specifically, that play calling was beautiful. Seahawks, Clint Kubiak, Mike McDonald, don't tease me. Don't tease me with a good time. Don't tell me we're going to be getting that all season long. And speaking of the coaching, I love it. Am I allowed to fall in love with the preseason? Aggressive, creative offense, motion, play action. And that was just on the first drive. They put on a clinic. So yes, the Seahawks won. However, I walked away on Friday night thinking the Seahawks have an identity. And that identity is not the past. Respect to the LOB era. Respect to all of the Seahawks that have come before. That's no disrespect to them at all. However, in order for the Seahawks and this current team to be what they need to be, they need to establish their identity. And I think and believe that that's exactly what happened. So the lesson that has been learned is the past is behind us, but now we step into what's next. And Friday night showed us that truth. We praised the first drive. We shouted out about the receivers and Bobo, gave love to the O-line. Now, what I want to do is I want to lean into specifically some of the things that really stood out in this game, because I don't believe that this was just a preseason. I believe that this was a glimpse into what's next. Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold from snap one, calm, poised, 4 for 4, 34 yards, precision, leadership, answered every question that so many of us have. One of the questions that I had going into that game is I asked this, it came out last Thursday. I asked, can Sam Darnold lead this team to a score in the first quarter? Can it be a field goal? Can it be a touchdown? I asked that question of Brady Henderson from ESPN. Guess what? He did that. I don't think he just came here and comes here to hold a spot. I think Sam Darnold is coming here to make a statement. Respect to the past quarterbacks, respect to what Geno did when he was here. But Friday night, I think the page turned. The story has shifted. I know y'all saw it. A QB that walks out there, walks into Lumen Field with all of our eyes on that quarterback and says, I belong. Run game. Charbonnet running angry. That run game, they ran the ball 48 times. Charbonnet was running that ball with purpose. My man would hit that hole like he was hitting that hole, man, like he had bills to pay. Now, I'm sure he does have bills to pay, but you got to admit, there's a different type of work when you're working, when you know that you got the bills to pay. And if you don't work, you don't get those bills paid. Moving body. It felt like that run game was personal. It felt like Charbonnet made it personal. Shout out George Halani, number 36, doing this thing. I have not felt like this about the run game since, I would say, Chris Carson. That's the last time that I have felt this type of confidence. Now, when that run game starts to move the change, the house of football stands firm. And Friday night, that foundation of the offense, that run game, it looked strong. I have mentioned Bobo before, and I'll mention again with these wide receivers. As a matter of fact, look, it's no secret that I came into this season that thinking that the defense was going to have to really hold up the offense. Over at training camp, from what I had seen, it felt and seemed as if the defense was consistently getting the better part of the offense. My question was, would and if Sam Darnold was going to command and be that guy? I'm walking away Friday night after that game and saying, okay, I think all of us on paper will agree that this defense is fine, right? No doubt about it. But it's the offense that really has a lot of us talking. It's you at home right now. You're talking about Clint Kubiak. You're talking about the play calling, the balanced play calling. You're talking about, man, just that feeling of not seeing and not being used to seeing that. They were dominant. Now, again, a lot of people will talk about it being preseason, I'm sure. But hey, for that to be a preseason game, Seahawks, thank you. Thank you for giving us what we needed in that moment. And now here's the part that I save for last. The part that don't typically show up in game recaps, but I'd argue that it's probably one of the most important things over the last 20 years of Seahawk football. Can we talk about the crowd? Because Friday night wasn't just about X's and O's. Friday night was about the 12s. It was about the atmosphere. It was about the heartbeat of Seattle, the crowd, 68,000 strong for preseason. Yes, it felt like a playoff vibe, blue and green everywhere, roars coming through the stadium. Your boy, I couldn't sit still, and I watched every single minute. Touchdown happened, crowd erupted. The place erupted. It wasn't, I got one for you. It wasn't just noise of celebration. I know where I'm going with this. It wasn't just noise of celebration. It was a declaration of we back. That's what it was. It was a little more than that, right? The roars and the crowd in the stadium, it was rocking. It was more than the celebration of that play, of that touchdown, of that pass, of that catch, of that block, of that run. It was a declaration of feeling confident and good. We back. It was a confident of on week one when the Niners come to town, we as Seahawks fans, as 12s, we feel good about that. And I think that you should go away from that Friday night game thinking that same thing. Blue Thunder was out there boom, booming. The heartbeat of Lumen Field. That's right, Blue Thunder was rocking out there. The Seahawk dancers out there with the energy, the precision, the spirit, getting it going. All of it. I'm trying to bring it in. If you weren't there on Friday night, I'm just trying to bring you in to what the vibe was that night. Oh, timeout. Man, hey. Shout out to the junior Seahawk dancers. It was like 300 strong out there from 5 years old to 14. Dope vibe. And the coolest thing is, right, some of those kids' parents, right, they were former Seahawk dancers. So I don't know, man. That was beautiful seeing them perform pregame in Ticketmaster tailgate and then seeing them perform at halftime. Loved every bit of it. But again, I want to really talk about and continue. There is a player-fan connection. That's important. As you know, over the years, I've talked to and you've heard from, and sometimes people just think that they just say those things. No. Lumen Field, home of the 12s, it's the loudest stadium in the world, and there's a reason why last season being at home, losing those games was disappointing. It just didn't feel right because for so long, that crowd, this home, this is the place you come and you play at home and the Seahawks kill it. So the players feeding off the fans feeding off the players, stops, touchdowns, big plays, one heartbeat, baby, one family. And by the way, home field advantage, it ain't just numbers. It's family, baby. It's community. It's being at the gas station, seeing your brother and sister wear that Seahawks shirt or jersey or hoodie, and you're like, hey, man, you put in your gas. You're like, hey, it was nice on Friday night. I missed that. I love that. So, all in all, it was crazy. All right, let's close this thing up. Here in a second, I'm going to close out with the 2-minute drill, but I want to just echo what my comments were about the environment and the vibe that happened over there on Friday night. Energy matters. Energy matters in the stadium. Energy matters at work. Energy matters at home. And on Friday, we were reminded this Seahawk team together, thriving on one heartbeat, players, fans, ownership, everybody, right? You need each other to thrive, and you need people cheering you on. That's in life. Everybody needs to be cheered on at some points. The Seahawks had that. The 12s gave that. And so we got to continue that on because, as you all know, the next time that the Seahawks are in that stadium, it's going to be week 1. Week 1 when the 49ers come to town. And by the way, there is no wait. We find out right away when that rival comes to town. They are trying to, if you will, knock the Hawks off week 1. Week 1 game, you go on the road to play against those Steelers. So we will see. Now, usually sometimes you get into these episodes and you start talking about who you think is going to make the team, who you think is not going to make the team and all that. Look, I'll leave that for other people. I don't want to talk about who's going to get a job and who's not and what I think this. I'd rather spend my time talking about what we see right now. And as of right now, I will say this. This Seahawk team has exceeded my expectation as of right now. From what I have seen, I did not expect to get this, what we are getting right now. Love everything I'm seeing. And right now, let's get to the 2-minute drill. Here we go. Friday night, family. It wasn't just a game. It felt like it was like a sermon in motion. It was change. It was courage. It was stepping forward to close an old chapter in Seahawk football. I feel like the Seahawks, they showed us that you can lose a name. You can lose a former player. You can maybe lose a chapter. But, man, the purpose that we saw and we felt, purpose don't retire, baby. Purpose don't transfer. Purpose stay here. Purpose remains, and every purpose remains the same. And that's for you too. Whatever left you, whatever changed, whatever you had to say goodbye to, that's not the end, but it is the new beginning of another season. You know, I'll admit, for me, change is hard. Change is uncomfortable because the future and what's next is so unknown. You try to keep the spark's alive. And also the mission is still here. So remember what we saw on Friday night. Let's hope and continue that the Seahawks, we fans, 12s out here, we build on that, right? Because I got to tell you, man, it is a good feeling, that feeling that's happening right now. And I guess what I'm saying is over the last year, I didn't realize how, man, it was some really troubling times when things weren't going right. But, hey, you got to celebrate when they do. When they go right, that's what I'm talking about. You got to embrace it. So we'll look forward to coming up here pretty soon. Pretty soon, you got the Green Bay Packers. They go on the road to finish out their third preseason. I wish for all great health of the players, no doubt about it. We're great health for all of you as well. So that's going to be it for me. I'm G. Scott. They call me the preacher. And this has been another edition of The Reset. So make sure y'all keep that fire, keep that faith in this team. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share with your family what's going on here at The Reset. On Thursday, we will bring in Brandon Mebane. Bane is back. Let's find out what he really thinks of what this team looks like. Because before, I don't know if he was all that confident, but we'll check the tape, the film, and we'll get his opinion on that. All right. Appreciate you rocking with us. Love y'all for that.